Hello and welcome to Oxford. My name is Justin. I'm the owner of Team 53 and I partner with Coach Dave Academy and Impel Motorsports to bring you this week's Learn to Drive video for super late models at Oxford as part of iRacing's 2025 Season 2 Week 7 official series. We are over halfway through the season. If you are new to the channel or a recurring viewer and you have not already done so, please make sure you hit like and subscribe. It does a ton to help me out. I race here in Wisconsin. I have a late model, which I'm actually probably parking this year. My daughter Sydney is 12 and she wants to start go-karting, so we're concentrating on her until we can get maybe a big sponsor to come in and help us out a little bit. But until then, we stick to iRacing and go-kart crew chiefing. So, Oxford Plains, for those of you who have never been here, it's a big circle. It's super, super difficult to handle, and it's a track that it's easy to run on, but it's hard to run well here. And there's a lot of tips and a lot of secrets, especially in the super late model, that you can really use to help guide your way through the race here. So we we're going to look here at qualifying. First things first, with the super late model, go into your options, go into your controls, and set a control for your brake bias. That's going to be really, really, really important for you to have a button set so that you can adjust this throughout the run. Oxford is a track where the car will start to get tight, it'll start to do different things, and you can use your brake bias to really kind of help combat some of the things that you're feeling. So smaller percentage of brake bias is going to free the car up. Higher percentage is going to tighten the car up on entry. So when you're under braking, it'll do those things. There are times where I will use brake bias on entry to take the car from being neutral to being a too loose, just so that way my exit might go from being a too tight to being neutral. So it's kind of a nice little tool that you can use to help with your runs here a little bit. The other thing is if you're using like stock pedals from like Logitech or something like that, it's really, really important. And I think one of the best investments that you can make on your sim racing, and especially a car like the super late model where throttle control is really, really tough, is to have a good set of pedals. And you can get those at Impel Motorsports, impelmotorsports.com. Huge supporter of mine. They've got Moza products and more coming soon. So definitely a place to go for that. They also have real race car parts, safety equipment, anything from All Star Performance, K1 Race Gear, Weir's Machine, all the big names you can find at Impel. So let's head out on track for qualifying. You're going to see us tire heat. It's going to be a gas brake swerve left right. It's something that we do pretty much every car, every track, and this is really going to help you out a lot. So we go out on track. We're going to go high here in 3 and 4, and we're making this a one-lap wonder. So what we do on the first lap, that's going to be our lap. So you can see here going into lap 1, we're coming off the high lane. We've got a huge run, and we're pitching the car into the corner. So we've got this car kind of in no man's land pretty much. There's really nothing out here. But what our goal is going to be is to bring this car in and we're going to get our left front kind of close to this white curb. But there's this little patch here in 1 and 2 that you can kind of see here in the screen. That's where we really want to make sure our right side tires are in or below. So let's go through this corner here. We're going to come in. I'm lifting at the start finish line, giving it just a little bit of brake to help set the nose of the car and to get the car activated into yaw. So as I said, we're going to get really close to this curb here on entry. Right side tires below this patch. And we're just going to let this car rotate. Now, you don't want to run this car right tight along with this curb because as you can see, these curb angles don't really line up. So I usually just try and stay in this lighter gray with the left side of the car. Just kind of keep it right in line there through this corner. You can kind of see this seam here. We're kind of straddling that with the car as well. So we get here through the center, and just as we get to this curbing here at the center of the corner, that's where we're going to start to throttle up. And notice how I'm really soft on throttle. I'm not like going right smack dab 100% throttle. We're just kind of floating at about 50, 60, 70%, and we never get to full throttle going down the backstretch. Full throttle here at Oxford just causes a ton of tire spin and you're going to lose time. And this is why it's important to have a good set of pedals in your sim racing journey or your sim racing career. Is if you've got really, really baseline pedals, it's going to be difficult for you to really modulate the throttle the way you need to, especially if you want to take it to the higher levels. Anything with a load cell brake is really what you want to look for if you're looking for new pedals. And if you have questions about it, send me a DM, join our Team 53 Discord. I'll help you out. Whether I can sell them to you or Impel stocks them or not, we'll help you out. So we head here into turn 3. You can see we're kind of middle backstretch here. 1, 2, 3, 4 lanes up. Left side tire still on there. We head here into turn 3 and we're going to lift. Little bit of brake on entry just to set that nose. And then we're going to just kind of ride this seam here through the center of the corner, get a nice hard drive off. And now what I'm positioning my car to do now is just to drive straight off. And that's our goal here. So we just drive straight off the corner. We get a 595. So super straight, I'd say I don't even need a second lap and we go off into the dirt and it doesn't matter. Like I don't need a second lap. This lap is going to be good. So that's what we take. And that's really what you guys have to practice is this straight drive off this corner, pitching it and then angling it right here to come up kind of right there at the wall. I'm trying to think. When I'm in the car and I'm coming off, my angle is usually to try and keep this little wall angle here where the white is kind of dead on for me. And then after we get across, we kind of turn a little bit. But let's back up and let's go through a lap inside the car. Where's cockpit? Here we go. Enjoy. And there you go as the wall encroaches in on us. In terms of race trim, Oxford is one of those tracks like Lanier where it's a circle. And the big thing that I always tell people at Oxford is don't try and overdrive your car. Don't try and give it extra throttle. Don't try and drive it in any cars deeper. At Oxford, you have what you have. And the more you can get into a rhythm and just hit your marks and just kind of slow roll it through the track, the better off you're going to be. If you're in there and you're trying to give it throttle to get into the corner center, there's a good likelihood it's going to spin out. If you're going on corner exit and you're trying to dig to get underneath someone and you throttle up, there's a good chance you're going to spin out. So it's really one of those tracks where you have what you have and it's going to take you 5 laps and you have to put yourself in position to be underneath someone um, or to be there to try and pass them. You cannot force it at Oxford. So, as we talk about, we're using the custom Team 53 setups. This is a setup very close to what I ran in Sarah's Super Series here. And we were super successful. We went from like 26th way up towards the front of the pack. So the big thing here is just going to be just riding, right? Keeping this car underneath you. Team 53 subscribers, I did add a click of front stagger to this car to make it a little more stable early in the run. If you find that you're trending really tight, take that click of front stagger out and it's going to free you back up. But the big thing here at Oxford, like I said, is just running your laps and waiting. And the really cool thing about Oxford too, it's only an 85 lap race, but the second lane will come in. With it being, mid 90s track temp, low 100s track temp, this bottom lane, if you get, 10, 12 cars in a race, is really going to start to heat up. And then what you'll do is you'll end up moving to the second lane. And the second lane will be a lot faster. And you'll really be able to make some progress through the field until everybody else moves up there. And then that second lane heats up. And then both lanes will be kind of even and you guys will have some really good side-by-side racing. But it all hinges on green flag runs on whether that second lane is going to come in. And as you can see here from these race laps, I'm not really worried about full throttle. We're half throttle down straightaways, 3/4 throttle down straightaways. We're really just trying to keep this car underneath us and keep it managed. It's not a track where you're out there matting the throttle, just going as fast as you can. Like we're coasting here a lot. And just trying to be in position to get underneath someone on corner entry. To push somebody to go a little wide on center of the corner to where you can get underneath them and drive there. It's very much a rhythm track. It's very much a driver track, and it's one that, like I said, it's really easy to drive here. It's really, really difficult to drive really, really fast here. And the things that you do to drive fast, protecting bottom, running as close to the curb as you possibly can, keeping the car from swinging out way too wide, keeping your momentum built up. All of those things are things that are really, really difficult to do. And it definitely makes it difficult for a lot of guys. So if you guys have questions, join Team 53 Discord. Should be linked in the description below. Head over to team53racing.com, sign up for a season pass. If you join the Discord, you get a 50% off through PayPal. So we're pretty excited about that. But best of luck this week at Oxford, and let us know how you did.